back to the jump. Had a little break off. I was super busy, out of town twice since the last video. So, a little bit of a recap of different stuff. But the Game 3 just ended like 15 minutes ago. So, we're going to talk about that first. Luka fouls out late. That kind of felt like the dagger of the game. The most impressive thing that the Mavericks did was they go down. They come out of halftime down 1. Were they up 1? I don't remember what it was. Celtics, 35-19 in the third quarter. Looked like it was wraps then. Mavericks go on a 22-2 run in that beginning of the fourth quarter, and Luka fouls out. Now, this is what I want to talk about initially. Obviously, I brought that up. That was the first point. Three or four of those fouls from Luka were completely avoidable and were not necessary by any means. There was one early that was just him having a stupid reach-in. The last one was dumb, stepping in front of a guy when you're not even set on a fast break in transition. Like, they're so avoidable, and they come back to bite you, and he's just got to be smarter than that. He didn't shoot well. He had a decent game. Like, him and Kyrie are the only offense that they had, but you can't lay yourself on. You can't put your body on the line. They're fouls. They're fouls, and you can't do that. If you're Luka, you've just got to be a lot smarter than that. I get it. He's the most banged up player that's playing in the series because Kristaps is out now. He's banged up. He's hurt. This is the finals, bro. Like, you gotta play. I mean, if you're gonna be on the court, you gotta go all out. And his defense showed none of that. His defense tonight, off ball, on ball, perimeter, whenever in the paint, didn't matter. Horrific defensive outing. He started complaining to the refs again. People would give him props because he stopped complaining to the refs in Game 2, and he was back to it. There was like 3 straight possessions, I think I counted, where he was complaining to refs, and I mean, it was just a bad outing. I think he had 27 points and Kyrie had 35. Like I said, that was the only offense, but that's not going to cut it. I mean, Luka, I think he fouled out with 4 minutes left, and the Mavs scored a couple easy buckets, like a pass down to Derek Lively, wide open dunk. There's a couple easy buckets there that made it seem like, okay, we can do something. But it did feel like after that 35-19 run, if the Celtics were going to blow that lead, it could have been anybody's series, but the better team ended up winning in the end. They didn't capitalize, and I mean, I don't know what the Mavericks could have done differently. They spoiled the best Kyrie game that they could have had, and that's how it was. The stat has been going around. Teams 3-0 in a best-of-7 series are 156-0. So the Celtics are NBA champions. This is a weird scenario because I'm going to go ahead and talk about this because the Celtics are going to win. This is a scenario where it's like it's kind of cool because the KD Warriors is the last time, in my opinion, where the entire year the best team ends up winning it. And it felt like the entire year no team but that team was going to win it. The KD Warriors and this Celtics team are very similar in that sense. The Celtics the entire year, from the jump, no pun intended, from the jump felt like the best team in the NBA. And they had the best record, and they've dominated in the playoffs, and they have a chance to sweep the finals and win in 4 games in Dallas. And that's the position they've been in. And, I mean, it's been a phenomenal job by the Celtics, like executives, presidents, everybody that's in the room there. What a great job! They basically got rid of Robert Williams and Marcus Smart to end up getting Kristaps and Drew Holiday, and then you keep Derek White, you keep your big 2. Like, what an amazing job done by the Celtics front office there. But yeah, like I said, it's been cool in the fact that like they were the best team the entire year. And sometimes it's fun that the best team ends up winning it because it's not always like that, especially in college athletics. You all know March Madness and not the best team. The best team doesn't always win. This one, it feels like a case where that is happening. So the Celtics will be the 2023-2024 NBA champions. And I said it on this podcast, I'm not an NBA guy, but the second they got Drew Holiday, I said they were going to be the champions. You can go back and find the tape. Once they got Drew Holiday, it literally felt like they were replacing Marcus Smart with an elite defender with more offensive upside that could control the game and control the pace. And like in game 2, he had 26 points. That type of stuff can happen. Marcus Smart, obviously, he had some big shots in his time in the green and white, but this is exactly what the C's needed. And obviously, Kristaps played phenomenal in game 1 and 2, but they didn't even need him tonight. It's just the Celtics are just a wagon right now. Missoula is doing a great job. They've held the Mavericks under 100 in the first 3 games of this, and they had Kyrie playing awful in game 1 and 2. So this seems like the end of the season coming up. Obviously, as I'm filming this, they're up 3-0, so it's not done. But and I think kind of game 4 will kind of decide who the Finals MVP will be. I would say as of right now, as I'm filming this, I don't know what the updated betting odds are, but I'd say it's probably Jaylen Brown. Going into the game, it was tied between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum has had a bad shooting finals, but he's dang near averaging a triple-double. So I think Jaylen Brown will probably end up getting it, just my assumption. But I think it was the stat of they're the first 2 teammates to both have 35 and 5 in the finals in the same game. So that was kind of the summary of the night for them. Both of them balled out, and both of them hit clutch shots late. Jason Tatum had that bully ball dunk down low, and then Jaylen Brown hit the mid-range to kind of seal it. So the Celtics, NBA champions. And it's kind of ironic, like, obviously for the Chiefs, they're not historic. Obviously Steelers, Patriots, 49ers, Cowboys, like all these teams are more historic than the Chiefs. But just for this argument, they have like top 5 most rings, whatever it is. They won the Super Bowl. And then you get Michigan, who's debatably the best program in college football history, wins. And then in college basketball, you get a blue blood that wins. And then in the NBA Finals, you're going to get a historic and one of the best 2 franchises in NBA history. So it's kind of a year of the tradition, I guess you could say. So maybe the Yankees will get it done in baseball as well. So especially if Aaron Judge continues to play the way he has. But that's beside the point. The NBA Finals, though. It's been a quick one, but it's been... there was a little bit of worry from me, like, the Celtics were allowing, it felt like 1 billion points a game from the Pacers. But their defense on Luka and Kyrie have been great, and I think that's kind of... This team is built perfectly to stop Kyrie and Luka defensively. Like, it's a roster that is literally built for that. I mean, they've done a phenomenal job. Obviously, Luka's going to get his, but it's been contained, and he's had to work for it. And yeah, tonight I think he was like 1 for 7 from 3. So they've made both of them play very bad games, and then Luka fouling out tonight kind of sealed the deal there, in my opinion. And I mean, Jaylen Brown put it perfectly. After in his interview, he had said Kyrie had a vintage Kyrie game, but it just wasn't enough. And that was the summary of the game. PJ hit a 3, and then he was like double clutching wide open 3s late in the game. He was just out of it. And they're going to need more from Tim Hardaway or Max Green or freaking just Derek Jones Jr. Somebody's got to do something, and it's a lot of weight on their shoulders for some young guys or new finals guys. So, but yeah. So to transition over to college basketball, what a chaotic turn of events, because the last time I had done an episode, it was well before these rumors had even come out. It was ironic because Shams had made it seem like J.J. Redick was locked in, and it was about to be very soon that he would be named the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. He may have been lied to, though, because Woj breaks, I think it was last Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. Woj bomb at like 6 a.m., that the Lakers are fully pursuing Dan Hurley, and that's been their guy since the jump. Dan Hurley ends up turning down the Lakers' offer of 6 years, $70 million. It's a whole lot of money for a top 2 NBA franchise job. But I think there's a mix of a whole bunch of different stuff on why he ended up staying. But he's back for the three-peat. And that'd be the first three-peat since, I think UCLA won 73, 74, 75. So, yeah, since 75, it'd be the first three-peat. But, yeah, I mean, what an offseason for the Hurleys, though. They turned down the University of Kentucky and the Los Angeles Lakers, 2 of the best jobs in basketball. Turned down both of them to stay in Storrs, Connecticut. So, I think, which I tweeted it out on the Twitter, go follow that. I tweeted it out. I think the second that the Knicks or Nets or Sixers or something opens, Dan Hurley will be heading that way. I think just one of those Northeast jobs. I think once those open, he's out of there. That's just my assumption, but I think it's an impressive thing, and it's a good thing for the brand of college basketball to be able to keep a coach like this, who is known as like the best coach in the game right now, to be able to keep him at the college level through all the rumors and talks with LA. Keeping it college sports, College World Series. I want to talk about a couple games from the Super Regionals, but my Kentucky Wildcats, I'm usually wearing something Kentucky, but my Kentucky Wildcats are in Omaha for the first time ever. So, I mean, I talk about College World Series every year, but this is a special year as my favorite team is there. But I want to mention Game 2 of the Florida-Clemson Super Regional. A shout-out to Cam Canarella. He single-handedly took over a baseball game, which if you didn't know, that's extremely hard to do. He had the greatest ninth inning I've ever seen in my life. He had a 3-run home run to tie it, and then had a Willie Mays running away, but he was jumping also, catch over the shoulder. It was unreal. He did all that in the ninth inning. It was a 5-hour-plus game. I don't remember what the official full time ended up being, but it was forever long, and it was awesome. If you name it, it happened in this game. There was like 3 Clemson players/staff ejected. There was Jack Caglione home runs. There was him striking out late by like a new pitcher. There was the second baseman and shortstop getting injured for Clemson. Like, anything possible happened in this game. It was unreal. Florida ended up winning 11, 9, and 13 innings, and they take it. Which it was one of those weird things where in Game 2 it switches and Florida becomes the home team, so they batted last. So they walk it off at Clemson to move on to the College World Series. And then I want to mention Game 2 of Kentucky-Oregon State. This was the last sporting event for the Pac-12 ever. So, that was wild. And then for those of you all that haven't paid attention to Kentucky baseball, it's a super aggressive style, and it's fun to watch. If you don't watch Kentucky baseball, you need to. And the run that won that game for the Cats is exactly why you need to watch it. It was a pass ball with a runner on second. And the pass ball, if you haven't played baseball before, when there's a pass ball, the pitcher goes up and covers home plate. But that pitcher just wasn't paying attention at all, which usually people don't have they don't have the guts to go and round third and go ahead and go home. So he was probably just assuming, all right, he's going to get to third. He's going to stand up there. But he just keeps going. He leaves third, and then it's just see who can get the home plate first. The catcher, I think it was Grant Smith that scored that one. And he dove from, it felt like, Indiana. Like, he dove from so far out. It was electric. It was awesome. That was in the 7th inning, and then we ended up winning 3-2. But the drama late, Travis, I think it's Bazana. He's like a top 3 projected pick in the MLB draft. He made it a little something late because there was a runner on first. They were down 3-2, and he hits an absolute just like phenomenal hit down right field. Runner from first gets the third. He's going to round first to go get a double, which would have had winning run on second, and he gets it's a base path interference. But they end up not even calling it, which I was shocked. I thought it was definitely going to be for the Beavers there, and he'd get to go to second. But so he ends up getting to first anyways. Still, it was fine. And we bring in, I'm failing to remember his name right now. We bring in that last pitcher, and he ends up striking out the last batter. And that did it. It was phenomenal. What an ending. But the thing going into it was like, Kentucky can hit. Will they be able to play the defense to be able to be like up there with the big boys defensively? Oregon State had 3 hits in the 2 games in the Lexington Super Regional. It was an NCAA record. It was crazy. Kentucky is the last SEC team to make it. Every other SEC team had already made it prior to this. And I think it's 4 SEC, 4 ACC in the College World Series. So I'm excited for it. Let me see when these games, see when the times are. So the first game is North Carolina, Virginia, Friday, June 14th, 2 p.m. So this will be tomorrow when you are seeing this. Then Friday at 7, Tennessee, Florida State. Then Saturday at 2 is Kentucky, NC State. Then Saturday at 7 is A&M, Florida. And we'll go from there. I'm excited about it, though. 4 SEC, 4 ACC. And it's going to be electric. And I'm still debating on if I want to be... It wouldn't be financially smart. It wouldn't be smart for any reason at all. But the memories. And you can replace money. I'm considering going to Omaha. It's a 10-hour drive from where I live. But it's almost worth it. Kentucky and Omaha, you can't beat it. So, yeah, I might end up doing that. Go follow the socials. I'll throw them at the end of the video. If I end up going, I will post heavy on there. If I end up going to Charles Schwab. And if y'all haven't seen the field at Charles Schwab, they painted the outfield in the shape of the trophy. It's sick. If y'all haven't seen it, I'll try to throw a picture on the screen here. But, it's awesome. It is an amazing work by the team out there in Omaha. Before I wrap this up, I want to mention this again. It's kind of sad because this feels like the second time in 3 or 4 videos. Rest in peace to a basketball legend, Jerry West. These are some of the accolades. He's an NBA champion. He's the only NBA player to win Finals MVP from the losing team, and I believe he's also the only player to ever win Final Four Most Outstanding Player while losing, because they lost to Cal when he was at West Virginia. So he won in 1959. He won Most Outstanding Player of the Final Four. So he's the only to do both of those. 1960 gold medalist, 14-time NBA All-Star, which was every season of his career, 10-time All-NBA First Team, 2-time NBA Executive of the Year. Some of the names that this man has acquired: Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and he's the man behind the Showtime Lakers and the Warriors dynasty. So his stamp on basketball will go forever. Man, what a life he lived. He's one of the most successful athletes of all time, not only just for his playing career, but what he was able to do after in the sport, as a coach and an executive. And it's sad, but apparently he went out safe and with his family and peacefully. So if there's a positive, there's that. And the most notable thing, he is the NBA logo, and I think that should never change. What that man has done for basketball is incredible. So rest in peace, the logo. Rest in peace to a legend, a Hall of Famer. Thank you for the stamp that you put on the game, Jerry West. So, and I think I would say, y'all know I've talked about Pat Riley before. Him and Pat Riley are similar in the fact that they were NBA players, and obviously he was a champion as a player, but what they were able to do as a player and continue it because a lot of people will get away from the game or they'll just go do their own thing, do a different venture out. But those guys stayed in it and left their mark on the game, and it's greatly appreciated. And you can tell by how all the legends talk about Jerry West. What a legend. Rest in peace, the logo. But that will do it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Jump. Leave some comments, like, subscribe. It's all greatly appreciated. Like I said, follow the socials. They'll be at the end of the video, in the outro. I think that's just about it. I plan on, now that I'm back in town, like I said, I was out of town twice in the past, since the last video. I plan on doing more videos and stuff, and just periodically just talking about different stuff. Obviously, it's a summer, so there'll be less like news, but I'll have quite a bit to talk about and more interviews coming soon for you guys. So be excited about that. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Jump. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy what's left of the 2023-2024 NBA Finals, and peace.